this is Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century.
Hey, Cali, it's Willard Pugh and Ron. We out here doing the Hollywood thing. All right, took him out to lunch and just trying to keep him away from these crazy, wild women. All right, that's your boy.
I appreciate that. We All Be is under him on the one and only Brother Willard Pugh, a very distinguished, prolific thespian and a man of the people and a fellow Memphis homeboy. How you doing?
I'm good
today.
Good thing.
It's an honor to meet you finally. I know I talked to you a couple times over the years. Yeah. And one of my favorite shows was the Christmas show we did on December 2010. It was hilarious. It was very inspirational, very heartfelt. And it was funny because you told me about a recent project you did, Kings of the Evening.
Oh, yeah.
And it actually came on tonight on cable.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I saw you in your element. How you doing today?
Ian Turman, Lynn Whitfield, who else was in there? Stephen Williams.
And Tyson, the model.
Tyson Beckford.
Yeah.
Leonard Washington. It was a good cast of people.
You like they had a lot of fun making it.
Oh, we had fun making it. It was a project that a friend of mine brought to me that they were doing and asked me if I'd kind of be a part of it. So, I wasn't doing a whole lot of nothing at the time, and I liked the project, and so I participated,
And what I like about it too, I found out somebody that knows, it's like hidden Black history. Not only was it entertaining, but it was also informing. Please give us like a synopsis of what's the story behind the movie.
Really a deeper movie than most people knew, which is one of the real reasons I liked it. I met Andrew P. Jones, who was the director and producer, him and his father. His late father, he passed away. This gentleman researched the Sri Lanka tribe back in Africa. And they used to do these fashion shows, and they would take on the forms of different animals and things, and take the skins or whatever and make their wardrobe, and they would dress up to make themselves feel better about what their conditions and the situation they lived in over there in Africa. Right. And they could take anything, take nothing, and make it into something. And if you could take nothing and make it into something, then you got to be something.
That's true.
So a lot of times people that think they're nothing, they're more than they know that they are. We just don't believe that we are. And with this film, it was showing nobody during the Depression. They brought that culture that came from Africa. Those people brought that same culture to America. And they would do underground fashion shows, dress up with whatever their best was. You win $5, you win a chicken, can of peaches. Anything during that Depression time was a benefit, and it could change your life. You know what I mean? It could feed your family. So it was just about pride, having pride. We knew times were tough, but it was about having that pride and never giving up. And I think now we've just given up.
What will make you say that right now?
Because I just look at society, look at the world, and look at people, look at especially Black people. My people. They give up too easy. They keep thinking everybody owe them something, and don't nobody want to work anymore. Nobody got any drive. And during my time in the 60s, the 70s, when I grew up, I was in the first group of people that ever got bused in this country, in America, period. Back in junior high school, Colonial Junior High School, they bused us to a white junior high school, which was Colonial. And back then, people, the families, the parents, threw fecal matter at us. In baggies. They had chains and guns and shotguns, and they rocked and turned over our buses, and we went up through all this kind of crap to go to school. And now we got kids that don't even want to go to school, and it's free, and they can go. They got computers, they got all kind of state of the art. Right. My mother had to become a encyclopedia salesperson in order for us to even own encyclopedias. One, we couldn't afford them, and two, a lot of people just didn't get access to them. So we had encyclopedias, we had abacus, we had the atlas, we had the globe. We had a globe in our house so we could look at the real world. I mean, all that came with the job as us being a World Book salesperson. So we got everything you could think of. It came with World Book because of that. And that's how difficult it was for black people to get information.
Wow.
And get knowledge. And now it's out there and nobody wants to take advantage of it. It kind of hurts me.
It's because, like, we don't really know, like you said, we don't know who we really are in terms of, like, even in movie, we don't understand our power. I'll call us the alchemists. We the alchemy people.
Right.
We take something and make something.
We never know who we are. We still don't. There's a movie out right now called Get Out.
Okay. Tell us about it.
I love Get Out. Okay. I've seen it about 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
Because every time I see it, I see
Mm-hmm.
something different. I see something new.
Mm.
And he took 5 years. And I believe he took 5 years. Because he got little bitty, intricate things going on in that movie that are subliminal messages that most people don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And subliminal messages are messages that you get that you don't always see it blatantly, but it's there.
Right.
From the white lady with the black straw, the straw was black.
Straw or it.
And she was sipping on the straw and asking about that girl's boyfriend. Is it true?
Mm-hmm. So, like, you think like a phallic symbol?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Everything had a symbol in there. The stirring of the cup. The bingo game. They thought it was a bingo game. Well, the bingo game is an auction.
Right.
And they were auctioning off black people.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to be us but us. Everybody want to take stuff from us. The guy who's in a wheelchair wanted the brother's eyes.
Right.
The one white lady who was with the black guy, that guy, probably in her life, she always wanted a black man, or her husband always wanted the prowess of whatever he thought a black man had.
Right.
And so she got this black guy they found in the neighborhood, who was the first guy that got kidnapped, and
Right.
going around him meeting all these white girls secretly at night.
Right.
So since that's what you're going to do, we're going to give you one that we know got high prowess, because that's all he doing all night, running around catching girls. So they got him, put him in that body, and whenever the camera would flash, he would come out of himself.
Right.
And he realized he didn't want to be trapped in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes your own vices can come out to hurt you.
Wow. Mm.
So it's a very deep, deep movie. I don't want to tell it all, because I want people to go out and watch it.
Definitely
and
go see
I'm proud
it.
for the guy that made it, because I think they say he spent $40 million and turned around and made $100 million. So that's like either first or second to a movie like Blair Witch, which for a first timer, that's one of the largest grosses ever.
I think it was like actually 4.6 million or something like that. Less than 5 million.
Wow, see that?
But that's power. Like we understand our power to be able to do
We
stuff
don't
like
understand
that.
our power. We will never understand our power. We have power in places that we don't even know, and then we get a little power, we scared to even use it or flex it.
Mm-hmm.
We have power in the NBA.
Right.
We have power in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
We have power sometimes in the movie industry, depending on who's hot at that certain time, to make a certain statement or to make a certain presence. And people keep not taking advantage of it because they think they're being safe, and at any given time they can get rid of you anyway.
Right.
So for me, I'd rather have said what I said and did what I did at that time, because I may never get that opportunity again. Like for me, this year's Oscars, I don't watch the Oscars, but I watched some of the highlights after it was over and stuff. And I went back and I watched it because of Denzel. And when I saw his face, when he didn't win, now he can say whatever he wants, but I'm sorry, that brother was crushed. And this year, out of all the years, of anything he's done, the biggest thing I really loved that he did was Hurricane.
Oh, yeah. You could have gone for that.
But see, that year, I think I told you, Charlize Theron did Monster, and that was a convicted felon. She went to jail and stayed in jail. He played it for convicted felon that got off and was falsely accused of something, later getting away with it, or got off from his charge. But it's the difference in Hollywood. So we justify things the way we want to. Because this year, for me, Denzel deserved it. He put in the work as a director, as an actor. He did the Broadway play, which is still work. If you don't understand, it's still work, because stage is harder than movies. Stage, you got to learn all them lines every night you're speaking. And when a movie, they could cut, take 1, take 2, you do 35 takes till you get it. When you usually do a play, it's continuous.
Right.
So he really put in a lot of real work, and he had to reach inside of himself into a different place that black men sometimes don't want to go, don't want to tap in to the things that we do wrong. We always like to know what we did right.
Right.
And we always try to sometimes justify what we did when we did what was wrong. But he had to dig into that, into the black community, because him having that baby outside
Right.
Him with his marital issues or it was a low self-esteem, and somebody made him feel good after all these years of doing what he do. He couldn't be successful at baseball. He barely got a chance to drive the truck. Then he finally got to drive. Everything that he couldn't succeed at, the sexual thing, he did succeed at.
Right.
To be an older man, to get that younger woman, made him feel alive.
Right.
Wrong choice. But guess what? If people do it, everybody do it. Everybody want to feel alive. Everybody want to feel needed. Everybody want to feel loved.
Right.
So it's something that happens, and a lot of people didn't want to deal with that. Even black people didn't like that part of the movie, but it's a part of life.
Mm-hmm.
And our fathers and our brothers and our uncles and our cousins. So to me, this year, if he ever deserved it, this was a year he should have really got it, and he didn't. And I personally would never. If I'm him, I'd never go to another Oscar.
Well, my thing about that is, like, yeah, they'll give it to you for playing a nigga or playing a maid or playing a hoe.
Well, look, Viola Davis got an Oscar this year for Best Supporting Actress in a movie that she played the leading actress. How do you get an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress when you're the lead? She wasn't the second lead. Denzel is the male lead. She's the female lead.
That's interesting because they know that they messed over several years.
They played this. Hollywood played because she and Meryl Streep, I think, are very good friends.
Right.
And I hate to say, doing that Golden Globe, that was too much for me, over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And after she did what she did at the Golden Globe, I guess they said, well, hey, you know what? We love you so much. We don't want you to compete against Meryl. We'll put you in as the best supporting. She'll be lead, and then everybody wins, and everybody's happy.
Right.
You know, you can't change the whole way the race is run.
Mm-hmm.
She was a leading actress that won for a Best Supporting Actor.
I
personally would have had to get my Oscar back. Because I know I was a lead. I mean, it's a nice thing to get one, I believe. But I would like to get mine for what I really deserve, which is a lead actress or lead actor in the role. And that's how they played it. Then they gave this Moonlight movie the Best Picture because it was what I would call a gay agenda. And I ain't got nothing against gays. I got a lot of gay friends.
Right.
But it was a gay agenda year this year.
Right.
And white America, again, as I always say, fascinated with gay thugs. I know too many of them. I'm sorry. It ain't nothing new for me. I see them every day. So to see a movie about them, okay. It's interesting. It's something new that maybe the average person don't know. But it was not Oscar worthy. The performances weren't Oscar worthy. The quality to me of the film, the way it was shot, kind of low budget-ish, it wasn't in the category of the stuff that it was competing against. You know what I mean? If you look at what it was running up against, it just wasn't in the category. So you had to reach to get that. You know what I'm saying? You're going against a great Fences shot well, the cinematography, the musical score, the locations, everything was just the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? So in this movie, wasn't that it was bad? What's her name? Janelle Monáe. I thought she did a great performance, especially because I don't know her as really an actress, and then she did very well in Hidden Figures. So I see she can do more than one thing, but she's super talented. I think. Period. You know, I would call her the female James Brown. So she's super talented and can do more. But that movie, when you look at the quality of what it ran up against, it shouldn't have won an Oscar. It was like, we gonna make them happy. We get gay and black at the same time. Black people need to be happy, and we appease you. So y'all get 2 Oscars. So Viola gets 1. That guy get 2 in 1 year. Now y'all should share for last year. I don't get nothing.
Right.
Those are just gratiation Oscars.
But when you think like it's interesting, like with the Brad Pitt connection, because this Plan B produced Moonlight and also produced 12 Years a Slave, and it won Best Picture a couple years ago.
Well, I don't think that really had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
I like Brad. I mean, you ain't give me something bad about him. Because what I know he did for a fact in New Orleans, because I went down there and I saw it with my own eyes. A lot of black people wasn't doing it. I think Lil Wayne did a lot. And I heard that, that I could actually see people took me and they were telling them who lived there. So I want to know what the people say that lived there. And they said Lil Wayne did a lot. And there was a few others, Wendell Pierce.
Go slow down.
Wendell was involved in a lot of stuff. So to have a white guy to really put the money he put a lot of money. And then he built some incredible homes and made it where anybody could get in that pool to get one of those homes. That's incredible. Then to produce movies that black people don't want to put the money up for to produce, I can't be mad at that either. You know what I mean? And 12 Years a Slave was a great movie. But I don't want to just keep doing the same stuff over and over again.
Right.
We slavery is great. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever want to forget. So
Right.
it's okay. But then let's do some other stuff too. And I guess they thought the moonlight, that was the other stuff.
Right.
That ain't the other stuff that I really want to see.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Because there's other great things that we do as black people that people never touch on.
Well, it's like, I think with fences, like I knew Denzel, what he did was award worthy, even Viola Davis, but I think for Denzel portrayal in that movie, it was hit too close to home for white people.
He hit too close to home for black people.
Right, but both people, I'm saying, it's very uncomfortable because you know people like that. I know people like that in my family. Or like even when he talked about Josh Gibson, people don't understand who Josh Gibson was.
Right,
He was like the black Babe Ruth, but he died at 35 of a broken heart.
And he may Josh might have been one of the greatest baseball players that have ever lived,
but never got the chance.
Let me tell you, I love some Jackie Robinson. Okay, I got a Jackie Robinson coin. I got a Joe Louis coin.
He's from Pasadena, right?
Yeah.
He's from here.
And I used to wear them under my clothes all the time. I never took them off till one time I think something happened at the airport and they kept beeping. I forgot. I had them. I took baths with them. So they were always on me to remind me of who I am and what I am. And if these guys could go through this struggle, I have no reason to complain.
Right.
Josh Gibson was way better than Jackie ever could have been.
Right.
But he couldn't do what Jackie did.
Because
Josh would fight. Josh would mess you up.
Rightfully so, right?
And what Jackie did took a whole lot.
Right.
He had talent and then he had the fortitude and that strength.
But Jackie had a temper too, though.
He did, but Josh wouldn't last nowhere near as long as Jackie. Well, for Jackie, we would not be in baseball.
But it actually
took a lot to do that.
They actually killed him early too, though. He had a lot of health complications after that. It destroyed him, man.
Yes, it destroyed you. To hold back who you really are and suppress that kind of anger inside of a body.
So was it worth it?
It's like a time bomb.
So was it worth it? I mean, I had to ask you this. I'm interviewing you. I got to ask you. Because think about it.
You make me want to get up and slap you.
No, I'm going to say, think about it. Okay,
what do you think? I wouldn't be here today without Jackie Robinson. Was it worth it?
But I'm saying, you think about what happened with the economics of the situation, where you had, he was a player for the only team that was outright owned by a white person. Was Kansas City
Jackie opened doors for people in more ways than just baseball.
Right.
Okay, he opened doors for education, for schools, for teachers, for trash men, for hotel workers. He was a civil rights guy, even probably greater, if not as great as Dr. King. I hate to tell people,
right?
Because he did a lot of things that everybody didn't hear about. Okay, he was an undercover brother that was doing it, and I mean really doing it. Right. So what do you mean? Without him, there would be no black people. I would be sitting here talking to you.
No, what I'm saying
and
is,
I wouldn't be living in Pasadena.
Yeah, he's from Pasadena. Okay, yeah. But what I'm saying is that I look at the economics of the situation where you had the Negro leagues were making more money than the major leagues.
Everything ain't about money. That's what's wrong with black people. Everything they think about is money. Money is not the answer. Because we've had money and we've lost money.
This is true. Yeah.
Half the people in the NFL, NBA, 5 years after they retire, they're broke. Yep, so money has not been the issue. It's how we use the money. It's been our problem. And how we misuse the money is our problem. It ain't how much money you made. It's how much money you got. How much money you keep. I don't care that people don't recognize me on the street. Right. But I know who I do love to hear. Mr. Pugh, how are you, Mr. Pugh? How are you today, Mr. Pugh? Know who says that?
Who's that?
The people at the bank. They all know my name. That's the only people I need to know my name. No one else needs to know my name. Can we pause?
Yeah.
I think Eddie's going to go somewhere.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to struggle as hard as you struggle. You shouldn't have to fight all the time to prove yourself or to justify who you are.
I agree with that. So you think that like even that, like you talk about the Hidden Figures movie, it frustrated me that they hiding these black women. They don't want to recognize them. We didn't know about them for decades. Right. Why now?
I knew some of these people.
Right.
One of my good friends, he's like a brother to me. His wife is like my sister. And his father worked in the federal government, and at one point they thought he was white. So he got success in the federal government that most people never would have obtained. Right. And I think over the years, and that's not to say anything that's negative about him, because I love the man, I think it would drove him to drink. Wow. Because knowing what he knew and seeing what he saw and having to put up with that stuff again, just like Jackie Robinson, right? It will eat you up, man. It eats your soul up. Because you see stuff that just ain't right. You see other black people that people don't know you black, and you getting certain perks. You walking a fine line, and later on, I think they did find out that he was black. But you know, it's an uncomfortable place to be. And I know you hate, at least I do. I hate that people treat me different, and then I see another black person that's being treated worse, and they black just like me. They shouldn't treat me one way and him one way because I'm a so-called celebrity or something.
Right.
Be decent to everybody. But then I got to realize sometimes we as black people create our own drama. And that's the biggest thing that we have to accept now. That's why I don't get into all that Black Lives Matter crap, because black lives don't matter to black people. And until we as black people stop killing each other and talking bad to each other and treating each other terribly, you can't say nothing about no other race treating you bad. Because we treat each other bad.
But who did we learn that from, though?
I don't care who you learned it from. You got enough sense to change your behavior?
I don't know, man.
I got enough sense to change my behavior, and then people say, well, you're different. I am no different from nobody else. My mother was a school teacher in Memphis, Tennessee, back in the day when they didn't make, I think, but $500 a year. She didn't make a whole bunch of money, and she came from Mississippi.
Right.
My daddy was a freight checker and only had a 5th or 6th grade education. So you, as an individual, are born into this world, and I didn't ask anybody to be born.
Right.
And then I had to make my way through the best I can with the environment I'm in, which I don't think it was horrible. I don't think it was good or bad. Somebody said, you ain't living in the ghetto. Well, we might have been in the ghetto, but I lived around people that were poorer than I was.
Right.
And I thought I was poor. So I knew what I didn't want to be, and I had friends who were alcoholics. I didn't know many drug addicts back when I was really small, but I did know a bunch of winos. We called them winos. And a lot of them winos changed my life, man. I saw what they did. I listened to what they said, and they told me the things they had been through. I didn't want to go through that. And then when I was able to read and write, which is why reading and writing and education is so important, you can read things for yourself. My daddy couldn't read the books I was reading. He only went to 6th grade. He know a lot about money and finance and things like that. And just from being around people, being exposed to different things, taking a risk and getting out of my own neighborhood, going to the Memphis Children's Theater, being around these different white people who had done all kinds of things. Those things broadened my horizons and gave me more opportunities. We just sometimes stay in our own little black niche, and that ain't enough because the world ain't just black.
Right. Yeah.
I think I could be with anybody of any race. I've traveled all over the world, and I ain't never met a stranger.
Wow.
And when I go places and people say, man, you don't know them people? Guess what? I know them now. We having dinner at their house tonight. Are you kidding me? I said, look, they said we having dinner there. Are we having dinner at your house tonight? Yes, Mr. Pugh, you'll have any dinner at our house. Okay. I said, okay, all right, I'm with you, baby. Let's go. Let's do it. I don't know a stranger. If you treat people like you want to be treated, most of the time, most of the drama that black people always say they having, we bring on ourselves. And sometimes, even though sometimes we bring it on. I brought on my own drama just being black, and I know this, but I can't forget it. And when I forget it, that's where I get really, really angry. But as long as I don't forget it, I'm okay. And it's a shame that in 2017 I got to still remember that I'm black to remind myself.
I know we talked about a little bit, like, is it a frustration to feel like that you got so much to offer the world? You know, like we talk about black people for fences and whatnot. Right. You have so much to offer the world, but you got to deal. I believe racism, that's a white folks' issue. Like, you got to deal with
it's a black people's issue too, though.
But I'm talking about the hang-ups of you, like the hidden figures. Jackie Robinson never said to head how he felt. But the reason he had to hide that because of white folks. They said this thing. Who created Jim Crow? Who created white supremacy? For white people and black people, because there's a double-edged sword to that racism. Yeah. See, I'm gonna tell you, there was a movie. I think it was called. Was it Under Siege? I know it was Denzel Washington and. I know you're talking about that.
Gene Hackman. And they said Lipizzan stallions were born black at birth.
Was it Crimson Tide or something?
It might be Crimson Tide.
Okay.
And he hits him. Then he says again, the Lipizzan stallions are born black, then they turn white or whatever. And then he hits him again. Now, in real life, he would never have hit Denzel 2 times. In real life, he never hit a black man. Most black men I know 2 times. Even I know in the military, there are rules about your hierarchy and hitting somebody and going to the tank. But I know black men that I grew up around that have been in the military. They served time in the military. They've been in the hoop scout because they did certain things.
Right.
You're not going to just slap them and they going to take it. But if Denzel would have hit Gene Hackman on that movie screen, you'd have had black men going to work knocking white folks out all day long. They've been knocking out their bosses all day. Because if Denzel hit the colonel or the captain on that ship when he slapped him over a Lipizan stallion, and hell, I don't even know what a Lipizan stallion
Right,
is.
it sounds something like that.
I'm going to knock somebody out when I go to work tomorrow. When my boss talk crazy to me, I'm going to knock him out. That's why certain things, when they put them in movies, they do it because it can set off a tidal wave. Life imitates art, and art imitates life.
What about, when you said that, I'm thinking about Sidney Poitier in The Heat of the Night when he slapped the white man.
Yes.
I mean, that was very powerful.
That was very powerful back in the day.
Right. So
but that's just a little bit of that. And then back in the day, it was really more racist, and most people knew that was almost fictional.
So you
really
didn't
was
believe
getting
it.
lynched. Nowadays, as much as people want to say that we do have a little bit more freedom, we don't have as much freedom as people think we have. Freedom ain't free. And you can never stop working for freedom. That's what most people don't understand. It's a continual fight. It ain't just over. Right. It'll never be over. Because when I walk in a room, people know I'm black. Right. They don't know if I'm gay, straight, broke. All they do know, one thing they know, I'm black. Right. I can never hide that. So if I'm being judged by that, that's going to be something I got to deal with always. So when you think you don't have to deal with it, then that becomes your first problem. Wow. Because that's one thing they just see. And some people have been taught from early childhood that black isn't good. Like you talk about that toothpaste that Forrest Whitaker gave. Right. That's from either China or Japan. They got a black guy, his eyeballs is really white, popping out of his head. Somebody gave them that view of black people. Right. And they put it on a toothpaste box and sell it all over China. Wow. So some Asian people, when they see us, this is the only black person they know is that black guy on that box with the top hat. So they assume when they see us, that's how we look and how we act. So that's why people don't understand the power and the effect of things that black people do. Whatever you do, it shouldn't be this way, that you have to represent your whole race almost every time you wake up. Right. But guess what? Every time we wake up, we represent our race. There's certain things that I do. I know if I were to do something the other way, I'm going to tell you, since Trump got in office, this is crazy. This is really crazy. I'm out walking. I walk every day. I do like 4.5 miles I'm walking. A white lady, her grandmother, and her 2 little kids walking. I got my headphones on and I'm singing to myself. And she says to me, "Can you walk with us?" Wow. You have a beautiful voice. Can you walk with us and sing to us? And I'm thinking to myself, the worst of the worst. Right. I am not sure, you know what. And I don't feel like walk around singing for some white people. Right. This ain't no minstrel show.
For free at that.
Okay. I said, but let me tell you what's going to happen. These 2 little white boys, they probably 6 to 10 maybe. I may be the first black person they ever saw that close. And today their view of black people can be made for life. How they going to feel about black people, how they going to look at black people, by whatever action I take right at this moment. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to walk with y'all. All right. The little boy's like, wow, I can't believe it. Now, grandmama, she knows better. Right. And she's thinking, oh my God, I know my daughter did not ask this black guy to walk with us. Right. He could be a rapist, a bugger, or a robber. He could be anything just because he can sing, and this is a reason for him to walk with us. And they had their little candles in their bag. And I think I was just singing whatever was on my phone. But as we started to walk, I said, you know what? I sang Everything Was Change. And I sang If I Could Change the World. And the grandmama is now in tears. The little boys were, I think, just impressed. The white lady that asked me was totally messed up because that's not what she thought was going to happen. Because I think she thought she was going to hear some hip-hoppy, upbeat music. Right. And I gave her something she had to now think about. And then, so she cut the walk short. Oh, well, thank you. But I knew for me that was a teaching moment. But I could probably change those 2 boys' lives. And grandmama had just total guilt. Because if you know the lyrics to either of them songs, it tells you about how life can change and when we get old, things happen. And, she said, you just have a beautiful voice. And listening to the words, she was in, and like the little boy said, why is grandmama crying? Why is she crying? And she had to explain to him, he says, you know, what he's saying about is really something that's really so true. And when you get older, you'll understand. And so for me, if I'd have been negative, if I'd have cussed them out, something crazy, that would have been their first image of what their lasting image, sometimes what they thought of a black person. So I think now the next time those two young boys, when they grow up and they see another black person, they're going to come at us a little bit different because they don't know that guy. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we have to take those moments to teach people even now, because people still don't know, because black people still don't know. So don't act like white people supposed to know too, because there's still black people that don't know basic stuff. Education has slipped us by. We got more kids not going to school now than we've ever had in our history, and I don't get it. And in Memphis alone, they closed down Southside, merging it into Hamilton. I heard that now they're talking about moving Booker T or somebody else in there. That's like 3 schools into 1 school.
Yeah, they doing
That's craziness. And then they've all been rivals forever. You don't take a pit bull and a poodle and put it together. Then you're going to just take humans and throw them together in a month or after 3 months of summer school, you know, when summer school is out for the summer, and then next month y'all tell me we starting back together. It's a transition that you ease things into things. But that's because they don't care. They just throw you in. So my thing is to the students, you got to realize that these people don't even care about you. So you got to start caring about yourself. And until black people start caring about themselves and what they want for themselves, then their lives will never change. My life never changed until I started caring about what I wanted for me. Not for what my daddy wanted for me, not for what my mama wanted for me, because I knew what they wanted. But I what did I want? Because they wanted, they're going to die. And they did. And they're both gone. And I just said, where I'm going to be, because I can't depend on them always. It was nice they did great things for me when they lived. The best thing they did was the information they installed in me to make me be the man that I am today. In fact, today I just got a card. It was on the table from my first grade teacher.
Oh, really?
She's 88 years old. Miss Dorothy Akins. Dunn Elementary. I sent her a exercise machine that's a whole body vibrating machine. And she just thanked me and told me how much she loved it and loved me. And we still talk. She does emails, she on the internet, and she was my first grade teacher. That's how important certain people in your life will be, and they will touch your life as long as you live. And we as black people, sometimes we forget it. We forget our old people. We forget they weren't always old. And if they really old, it took a lot to live that long to get to be that old. They went through some stuff, and you get mad about the little things that happen to you every day. In their day and time, it was way worse. That's why sometimes I just bite my tongue and suck it up. Because I know people who are way older than me that were African American people who went through holy hell, and this little bit of sometime hell that we get every now and then. Majority of the time, my life is beautiful. Okay, every now and then you're gonna have some spurts. Everybody do. But some stuff we ain't got to bring on ourselves. Okay. You know, when we talk about, like I said, the law enforcement, the Black Lives Matter. I've been a probation officer for 19, 20 years and retired from that. I've seen both sides. And yes, they're jacked up officers and jacked up probation officers, and there are a lot of them. I work with them. So, and they're black. Okay? It ain't just the white ones or just the Hispanics. You know, sometimes we hate our own selves worse than other people. Like I used to tell kids sometimes, and not that I hated my own self worse, what I hated when I worked in the juvenile hall system was I looked at them kids, and it's like looking in the mirror, looking at myself. Because they look just like me. Why are you in here? And I really am not different. People always say you different. I am not different. I'm black just like they black. But everybody makes choices. And the choices that we make now sometimes are not good choices. And I know our environment has a lot to do with it. But when you see it after this many years, change your environment. I moved. I got up and I left. I came out here with $500 and a Chevy Nova. And life has been beautiful ever since. It was rough along the way. I promise you it was rough. But I never stopped working. I never stopped, as kids say now, my grind, my hustle. Entertainment was what I wanted to do, but I kept a real job. I taught at Chapin College for 11 years, American history, American film history, world film history, and video production. I've had a video business since 91, I guess, and then I stopped it after about 20 years. I did that shooting stuff for other people. So Been in the Screen Actors Guild 28 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't like I wasn't working. I was always working.
All right.
And then when you buy real estate and stuff, you still working too. Because if you got property, you still got to work.
Right.
You need a new roof. You need an air conditioner put in. Sometimes if I can't do it myself, I got to pay somebody to go and get it done. But it's always going to cost something. Nothing is free.
Right.
Nothing is easy. It may look easy,
Mm-hmm.
but we keep wanting something easy, and easy ain't happening.
Mm. That's interesting. I want to ask you this because I know you brought up film. I just want to get your take. Have you seen The Birth of a Nation?
Yeah, I saw which one? I saw both of them.
Okay.
I saw the original,
Uh-huh.
and let me tell you, the original is great because of the cinematography.
Right.
It did things with cameras that had never been done. The little iris closing in, the little
Right.
black circle, the big wide screen that hadn't been done of a battlefield. All those were shot cinematically that had never happened before. We never seen something that grand.
Right.
But it's the most racist movie I ever watched in my life. It was straight racist, okay?
Mhm.
Chicken in the White House, people feet up with the shoes, all kind of craziness. It was crazy.
Uh-huh.
So, but the New Birth of a Nation was different. And it, to me, basically was a Nat Turner story kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen several of those, some better than others. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was good. It was just. It was good. It was. It was okay. It was historical, and I like to know. I like to know stuff. I like to see everybody else's opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. My opinion ain't the Bible.
Right.
Okay, this is just my opinion.
Right.
Everybody got an opinion. They just like what those things. Are.
Right.
Everybody got one. So it's just an opinion, and it was a good movie. I liked it. I'm sad that he had a bunch of backlash from his own personal drama from like back in college or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That took all the heat off the movie, and nothing against it. We didn't need another 12 Days a Slave to get an award. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was talking about how it was so great, and it was good. Cinematically, it was really good. Directed well, written well. It was just it was a good movie. But it caught backlash from his own personal stuff. But for me, it wasn't another movie that I had to get another award behind, because why can't we get awards for just the regular movies? You know what I mean? Every slave movie got to get an award. We know what happened, and them awards is not going to take away the pain. It's not going to take away what happened. It's not going to take away the abuse. It's never going to erase it out of my mind. Like the other day here in L.A., they had a big, over 10,000 people, millions of people in the street for Armenian genocide or something. Well, that happened over in another country. Slavery happened over here in this country.
Right.
And we ain't even in the streets taking a parade for that. You know what I mean? We can parade for everybody, for every other country, for every other genocide they want to call it genocide. But slavery was a genocide too. See what I mean? Fair exchange is no robbery. Everybody got their story. We all got a sob story. We all got a problem. But everybody want to see everybody else's problem.
All right.
See, I got to see my problems as a black person. I got to see white people's problems as white people, because they got problems too. Trust me, their problems ain't no different than yours. Their kids is just as screwed up as our kids. Sometimes worse.
Right.
There's more of them in drug rehab than it is us.
Right.
Not just because they can afford it. It's a lot of them that just messed up and dysfunctional.
Right.
And now we're becoming just like those people who are dysfunctional also. We trying to assimilate so much that we messing up. We getting every nightmare they get. Suicide wasn't a big thing among black people. Now we're getting more suicide. We never did that. So you've assimilated to some things you probably didn't even want to assimilate to. The drug behavior, our kids are all screwed up because we give them too much. We didn't give kids that much back in the day. We spank our kids and we taught them to be a little more appreciative. Now, because we've succeeded in some areas, we give our kids too much. So now they grow up to not appreciate you and the stuff you give them. And they do the same thing you always complained that other people's kids did. Because you've assimilated to that world. There was nothing wrong with our world. The structure our parents, I think the whippings I got back in the day, sometimes I may have been a little rough, but I hate to tell you, I think it made me the guy I am today. And I thank them because I ain't never had to go to jail to get beat down to understand.
Right.
You know what I mean? And life didn't beat me so bad. You know, my dad whipped me sometimes so that life didn't whip me as bad. And by the time I got to that point of being an adult, I could see things a lot clearer. Because if I thought that was hell, get ready for, you really finna find out what hell is. Okay, son? If you think what I'm doing is hell, you're going to be soon to be free and on your own, to be your own man, and you think it's rough now, if you can't deal with this, you surely will not be able to deal with that.
Right.
And a lot of people cannot deal with that.
I'll think about what you're saying about being rough and thinking about Birth of a Nation with Nate Parker. That was his directorial debut.
Yes.
Friend, but my thing is this. He was exonerated. Regardless of how people may feel about him, he was exonerated by white people.
You already forgot it.
Yeah, I already forgot about it.
What did I tell you the first thing you got to
You black.
You're black.
Yeah, but
when you wake up every day, the first thing you got to remember, if you want your day to be good, is that you're black.
Right.
Because as soon as I wake up, I know I'm black. And then most of the stuff that happens to me ain't going to bother me.
Right. But I'm saying the sabotage by them.
It is what it is. He forgot he was black.
Yeah, but then, it's interesting. But then Casey Affleck, the issues he had with women that were, he settled out of court with.
Right.
And he was allowed to not only, have his movie critically acclaimed and whatnot, to win an Oscar.
He deserved an Oscar. He did nothing.
I think he knew that though.
He did nothing. He was bland and his brother's been and he got it. Really? He didn't know. Oscars did not define me. Mm-hmm. Okay, I learned that went back to the Color Purple time because we got to shut out 11-0.
Wow, but it's a favorite of a lot of people. Like it holds up well after all this time.
After all these years, people still recognize me everywhere I go. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't know if everybody gonna know who Casey is. You understand? So that doesn't justify. The movie that somebody see, I saw it. It wasn't all that great. It just they're gonna do what they're gonna do because this is their world and their situation.
Right.
I'm just living in it. And I'm trying to make it the best world for me. I can make it for me. I'm not trying to assimilate to be accepted or they're approved by them. Right. And when you keep trying to be approved by somebody, you really going to mess your own life up. Stop trying to worry about being approved by somebody. Just do what you need to do to keep your lane. Because you're never going to get their approval. Yeah. You're never going to get that approval.
So that's the real answer.
That's the real answer. You keep thinking you're going to get this approval that you're not going to get. I can cut my lawn in this area all the time where I live. Some call bungalow, hey, Booby, the safest, nice little neighborhood. But I got a neighbor who don't clean up nothing. Mm-hmm. And they don't do nothing to her. She's Hispanic. She knows certain people in the city. At one point, I think she even used to work for the city. Mm-hmm. Nobody does anything. But if I drop paper on my lawn, I got a problem. My guy next door, my tenant, he actually disabled veteran. He dragged his foot. Someone turned in that my concrete was unlevel. And if he'd have fell on my grass, his hand touched the grass, he could sue me and he could sue the city. So I spent $2,000 to redo the whole sidewalk because the sidewalk belongs to you, even though it belongs to the city.
That's crazy. They should have did that, right?
Hey, that's how I feel. The grass on the front, that little parkway, it's theirs, but you got to maintain it.
That's crazy.
See, we keep getting caught up in little idiosyncrasies of the laws and rules. Understand it ain't ever gonna work for us. So when I go in thinking that already, then whatever come out, if I come out halfway decent, I'm happy. Because I already know it ain't fair. The game ain't been fair from day one.
Okay.
And what makes you think now is all of a sudden gonna become fair? It's not gonna change. Not in my lifetime. And I can deal with life a lot better when I understand that. Certain things just not going to change. It's just not. So I already know it. Just be decent. It doesn't kill me to be decent. It doesn't kill me to, people worry about respect. Most people that want respect don't even give respect.
But yeah, I was talking about it.
They can't spell it and they don't give it. So how can you get what you don't give? And you don't know it because you never learned it. You really can't get it.
Right.
So that is really what's crazy to me. Black people, they know the law and they know the rules and they got a lawyer. They can't afford a lawyer.
All right. You can't afford to play.
Okay?
Right.
So you're saying things that make you look stupid. You're saying things that you think impress people, but it really is not impressed by making your situation worse. And then we defend sometimes the wrong people for the wrong stuff. I'm not an OJ fan.
Okay.
I'm not an OJ Simpson fan. He's just black.
Right.
He was famous. He was rich. But I'm not a fan. But I don't think he killed his wife.
Listen.
So where were we?
I wasn't talking about OJ. Not an OJ fan, but
yeah, I'm not an OJ fan. But I don't feel that OJ killed his wife.
Okay.
What that happened for me was that raised the biggest view of racism in America ever.
Mm.
I mean, Rodney King was a big one for racism, and the OJ was a big one for racism because it just showed me how really racist people really were.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody didn't care about the people, the victims, really at all.
Mm.
It became a black-white issue.
Right.
Because nobody thought about what the wife had done, what the Goldman boy had done, their history. Because see, when you're prosecuting a person, the people who are the victims, you're not supposed to bring their life into play.
Right.
But I hate to tell you, their life is into play.
Mm-hmm.
Because certain things you do in your life can cause and effect.
Yeah.
And certain things you do cause certain things to affect your life.
Mm-hmm.
And they live certain lives, and those things never got to come out in court. In the movies, they try to make it, but people don't want to hear it because they just want to make it just a black, white, man, woman, animalistic, beat, kill, and that's not always true. And I like to look at a situation for the real evidence, for the real thing, because I want to know later in life what really happens. I don't want to just assume. Walk like a duck, quack like a duck. Sometimes it is a duck. Sometimes it's not a duck, though.
Right.
What's the guy's name? Robert Blake. I think he killed his wife and he got off scot-free. He's had mental issues and anxiety and depression and bipolar all his life.
Dude, his brother, right? The brother guy.
The brother, yeah. They played law enforcement, so he knows about guns. So why he gonna leave a gun and leave her? I mean, just certain things is just common sense, But common sense ain't common,
right?
Well,
my thing is like I heard about the phone records. Like Nicole Leslie got a phone call from my mom, which would mess up the timeline of OJ killing his wife.
Right.
But they won't release the phone records.
Right. There's a new thing that said that Martin Sheen got a new thing, I think on CNN, that he says OJ didn't do it. And
Martin Sheen an actor?
Martin Sheen an actor.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So did he believe himself OJ didn't do it?
Yeah, and I think he found out probably through his son Charlie. Because all of them in the same circle of drugs and women and doing what they did. Okay?
Right.
People that run in that same circle, they know things that the general public have no idea about.
I know Cole. She was her sister was dating some gangster guys. Right? They were federal witness protection.
Hey, I know myself. I saw her one night at a place called the Bellagio Hotel, I believe.
Okay.
Up there off of Sunset, and my buddy, the late great James Williams, jazz keyboard player. He was performing and invited me. I see her in the elevator with security, bodyguard, and get into a chauffeur limousine, and she ain't got a job.
Wow.
So how she driving around like that ain't got no job? Wow. Is she using the money from her dead sister's charity foundation, which they found out that she did do, and nothing ever happened to her? She ain't get prosecuted.
This is Nicole Brown's sister?
Nicole Brown's sister.
Wow.
Used the money for her own personal use. She got probably a slap on the hand, but nothing ever really happened from it.
Right.
So, people just don't know the real deep story. Everybody like to run with the worst of the worst and just run with it. That's never been me. I'm going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt truly until you are truly proven guilty, until I can really think there's no other way around it. Now, is OJ stupid? Yes, he's stupid. But did he kill his wife? I don't believe he killed his wife.
He did beat his wife, though. But
he did beat his wife.
But you said...
I'll never deny that he beat his wife.
But she had a reputation, right?
She had a reputation. The things that she had done is the one that he didn't kill her sooner. And if he didn't kill her sooner, he sure didn't kill her later.
Right.
Because the things that she had done prior, the Marcus Allen, who was his protege and his mentor, who had been sleeping with his wife, which caused his divorce, and then came out and was public and everybody knew about it. And that's the time you kind of get mad. I'm driving your Ferrari and I'm driving your Ferrari. You know what I mean? So he was really driving. That's enough to make you snap. Right. The phone call that people heard, there was a man that she said supposedly had got into a very sexual oral situation that OJ was aware of and did not like in his house with his kids.
That makes it.
That's the time when you snap.
Right.
I don't care who you are, and you didn't
kill
nobody.
I think I would if you're a man
and you didn't kill nobody.
Right.
But supposedly this gay guy brings some eyeglasses to the house, and now you snap on the gay.
So I heard he was a bail prostitute, Ron Goldman.
I don't know about his prostitution,
but
I knew he was gay.
He was gay,
and I knew he did some kind of fitness training.
Okay,
and also later out it came out he had over $200,000 in a bank account. And where does a waiter or fitness trainer get $200,000? He ain't Jill. What's the girl's name? He's not one of them famous personal trainers or Jake the bodybuilder, none of them people. Okay? And that's a lot of money having your bank account. So what you doing?
Why are you bringing her glasses back to her personally too, like to her house? She could just cut it.
They call you. I've left stuff 1,000,000 times.
But to bring it to deliver it.
And if they know you, they're gonna call you. They're not gonna send him to deliver it.
Right.
So you gotta
right.
Right.
That's kind of strange.
When you come next time here, we'll hold them at the front. We'll bring them back. They don't say they have Ron let something going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's just people don't really want to know the truth. People want to know what they want that makes them feel better.
Cause nobody never testified as. I mean, I know she's a victim.
She's a victim.
But FaME Resnick wrote that book.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. She said she was a cokehead and all.
Trust me. They know. And a lot of stuff is public knowledge, man. People just don't read.
But you think that
for themselves.
That white serial killer actually killed Nicole and Ron Goldman, the one who's on Florida's death row. His siblings.
I hadn't even heard about that.
Yeah, I think his name Glenn Rogers or something like that. But his siblings did a documentary with ID on Discovery Channel, and they said he was a serial killer. He used to go around killing women across the country, and they were saying that he was there that night when it went down. Cause I think he befriended Nicole and Faye. They were all doing drugs at one point together, and that he confessed to killing her and Ron Goldman. He's on Florida death row right now.
See, that's new. I ain't heard that.
Yeah, I think his name Glenn Rogers, if I'm not mistaken.
Only thing I can tell you is I never really go.
I never think OJ, but
all that arthritis he got.
Right, the knees and stuff. I know he was fast, but he had that fast. Right?
I'm in BB King, and him and his son and somebody else was in there.
Okay.
And they got a guy to kind of be with him with the family.
Uh-huh.
The little boy got loose in the restaurant, and OJ couldn't even catch him.
Really?
So how the hell he got rid of Nicole and Ron? And Ron was a martial artist too.
Right. So how you gonna be able to, like, you gonna sit there and let
he just sat there and let the man just do what he did.
Right.
OJ ain't the OJ people think he was. He was old, arthritic.
But it was a commercial, like you said. It's like how they program the Hearst commercial. He run through the airport.
That's just the past.
Right. It's not what OJ was at that time.
None of us saw. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I've probably had 10 surgeries.
Uh-huh.
My back, they told me I need both of my knees replaced.
Wow.
I've had my carpal tunnel in both hands. Elbows are sliced on both elbows.
Wow.
I look halfway decent. I try to get up and do something every day to keep
but I would never know all that.
But the average person don't know that. And people say, well, you got a disability placard, there's something wrong with you? You look fine to me.
Yeah, there's more ways to be. Think about the soldiers coming home from war.
Just thank you.
Yeah. A lot of them might not have been messed up, but they messed up in here.
Trust me, they are.
Yeah.
Everybody got their own issues.
Right.
And you don't always, everything is invisible.
Right.
And so that's why I never judge it. I don't always take it face value anymore. You know, I'm gonna really try to do my homework, and I do my homework, not just what the media give it, because the media gonna always put a spin. People don't like good news. They like bad news. Make money. Good news just don't sell.
It might feel good for that moment, but then on to the next.
And nobody want to hear good news.
Right.
They want to hear you trash somebody, say something bad about somebody.
Right.
And I really try to avoid saying really bad things, because most people, I think, their nature they're good anyway. They're not always trying to be bad, but sometimes people just do dumb stuff or bad stuff or make bad choices because they're trying to stay in the game.
Right. Try to stay relevant, what they call it.
Stay relevant to the time, so they keep working and keep doing what they're doing. And when you have a family and your whole income only comes from entertainment, then that's what you got to do. You know, that's why, to me, I try to diversify. And I got a real job, and I bought real estate and did things like that, trying to do things. I had a little restaurant for a while. You know, I've always tried to do other things that have other avenues of money to come in, so I'm making money even when I'm sleeping.
That's how I go. Residual income,
you got to keep
royalties.
thinking. Yes, you got to keep thinking about what to do. You don't just get it and stop thinking it's going to come forever, because who gave it to you?
Yeah.
And when the structure starts messing up, and that's the whole structure.
It's happening now, though.
It's happening right now. It's going to affect everybody. It don't just affect poor people. It don't just affect rich people. It affects everybody.
Right. That's right.
So people keep acting like it only affects a few people. It affects everybody.
We all connected because we all the same system.
Thank you.
We the same matrix.
If my gardener's hurting, guess what? I'm going to be hurting because he may decide he can't come work for me no more.
Exactly.
If everybody gets to hurting, they hurt in their own way. You know what I'm saying? So it affects everybody. And now, with my knees and things, I need it. Before, I didn't really need it. So now that I got these things going wrong in my body, now I need it. Now he said, well, Mr. Pugh, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm retired. I'm going to go into something else. Everybody does out here, you'll see a lot of natural gardens, cement driveways, and rocks on your yard. So he may decide to go a different route. And it can change. It can affect me. So people don't understand. Everything affects everybody. But if you plan, you try to secure your own self, not living above your means, and try to live normal, you'll be okay.
Right.
And that's been my whole thing. I've always tried to just be normal. I ain't never had to be rich. I ain't never had to be famous.
Right.
I just wanted to do what I love to do, which was at that time acting. And now I don't have no problem not doing it, because I put it, like I said, I've been doing it since I was a kid, and I put in more time than I ever thought I'd ever do, and I did more than I thought I'd ever do. I've been more places than I thought I'd ever get to go, and I was putting together a tape back there last night, and I started looking at all the different people that I forgot I even worked with. Wilford Brimley and people like that were great actors back in the day, and folks did really big movies. And I got at least Pam Grier, and at some point I crossed paths. Cleavon Little. I mean, I never got to work with Roger, but he's a good friend of mine, Roger Mosley from Magnum PI. So, just the different people that your paths crossed in this career that I never would have got to meet if I'd stayed in Memphis.
Wow.
But it's just a thing, you have to take that risk to do what you do. And you have to be realistic, though, when you take it. Most people aren't realistic when they take that. I did it at a younger age, so I had a better chance. Some things we age out of.
Right.
And you have to realize you age out of it. You're a big guy, but how old are you now?
Oh, 37.
37, you can't play pro football now.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I don't care. They say, man, you big guy. You should be playing pro football.
No,
you're aged out already.
That's old.
That's old. And if you have not already been playing somewhere, we're not taking you.
Right.
Right side, right look.
Right.
But is that realistic?
No, it's not realistic.
Okay. And
not even you Tom Brady.
Yes.
But he got to do things differently, though, in order to maintain the service.
Even older,
right.
As they get older, you have to readjust what you do. I've been in and out of martial arts most of my life, and I have to readjust now what I used to. Ain't nobody don't kick it in the air and all that fun stuff. That was fun. But some stuff worked, but it was fun too. You can't do all that stuff no more.
Does it bother you though? Like, does it bother you as you get older? Know you can't do certain things, or you just adapt, or you just don't really bother? You just come with the territory.
You know what? I ain't gonna tell. I can't lie. It bothers me.
Okay. I know.
One time, my birthday, I was 40. I'm 57 now. I was 42.
You don't look 57.
And I played basketball. I can't hardly play now, but I can just go in the whole knees, my hands, my wrist, carpal tunnel.
So all this stuff catch up with you.
It all catch up to you. And the kids was at the park up here. So I'm up here, I'm just shooting. So these young boys, you want to play? I said, yeah, I'll play both of y'all. What? I'm thinking, look good. They look that good anyway. So I said, yeah. So I'm playing these two kids. Then all of a sudden, they just start getting crazy with me. I mean, like I wasn't an older person that they're playing, and they was just to me, hey, come on, old man, come on, old man, bring it. You know what you gonna do? And then the more they kept saying about this old man, I mean, I don't know what happened in my brain. This switch that goes off in our crazy brains, and it happens to everybody. It twitched, it hit, and brother, I got possessed. I think I played the best I ever played in my life.
Wow, you did his own.
And I said, I refuse to let these kids win because they talk too much trash today. Right. But at the end of the day, I'm on the bench, I'm exhausted, I'm laid out, I'm looking like this. They left, came back, they said, hey, was it worth it?
They like that.
They said to me, was it worth it? Uh-oh, the light went out.
Okay, I'll shut it back off. That's probably the battery. They even do themselves.
Yeah, the kids said, was it worth it? They knew. So,
I like that, but they knew you was good though too.
Oh yeah, they knew it. They
knew to edge you on.
Yeah. They knew at some point I used to play a little bit, and they said, okay.
Yeah, basketball tough, cause my thing about basketball, I used to like play basketball, but you get poked in the eye, that stuff you hurt on, you fall, you drop over, on your ankle, like that. But you got to
change your style up as you get older.
But you look at somebody like, okay, like you look at Russell Westbrook, who's doing like phenomenal, like averaging a triple double. And I think about Allen Iverson, them guys, they throw their bodies into it. You just can't. So when you play, you can't change.
About is Vince Carter.
He's still playing.
Vince Carter is the roadmap for longevity in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
At his age, I think Vince got to be close to 40.
I think he passed 40.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he knows how to pace himself.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to park his ego.
Mm-hmm.
Because they say half man, half
amazing.
Half amazing.
Right.
But when he do come out in them spurts is good. And he helps the team still. And I'm sure he's advising them kids and giving the youngsters some good advice down there. So he's done it the right way.
It's like the Ray Allen guys. They changed the diets and all this stuff.
They changed the way they did the diet. They changed how they played. Mm-hmm. What's another one? Garnett, I think he did it. And
he lasted a long time, right?
He lasted a long time. Now he's coaching other kids. The big, well, they're not kids, they're grown men.
Right.
And, but they get them younger and younger. And see, sometimes for me, I always felt with the NBA, they should have left people in college. Mm-hmm. Let them stay there 4 years and learn the game.
It's too much money, though. It's too much money.
The money is killing the game.
Right.
Now the games are nowhere near. It's just, it's a business. Okay, and we don't even understand that it's a business.
Mm-hmm.
Football,
Yeah.
basketball is modern day slavery. People don't even realize it.
Like you said, I'm broke within 5 years. Majority.
They broke within
Everybody
5
gonna be
years.
LeBron James
It's the
or
same
Michael
thing
Jordan.
they did in slavery.
Yeah.
They used us and we did the farming, we did the corn, the cotton, we made them a bunch of money for somebody else, and then at the end of the day they had nothing.
Mm-hmm.
When the people gonna wake up?
Mm.
Think about it, really.
But is it too late now? I mean, be honest.
No, it ain't too late.
You know, okay.
It ain't too late to wake up.
But
You gotta start changing. LeBron changed the game.
Right.
LeBron has television shows. He does movies. He has really reinvented this thing.
Right.
He's doing what I've always said brothers should have done. And I ain't tell you, Dr. J was one of the first.
Right.
Him, Bill Cosby doing the Coke commercial. I think they got a Coke franchise, a Pepsi franchise.
Philadelphia,
they started getting other stuff. You know what I'm saying? They knew there was life after this game.
But you diversified your portfolio.
Dr. J could be Dr. J forever, and he looks great. Every time I see him, it's like scary.
I think he still dunked too. I saw a thing.
I believe it. He still looks great. I mean, he don't look good. He look great.
Yeah.
To be his age.
And you know, there's a dude I met named Professor Kobe Smith from Memphis. He was his teacher at UMass. Professor Smith, he the one to encourage him to go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Memphis got powerful because they don't say like.
He got a lot of powerful connections.
Yeah, but I'm saying a lot of people don't know that. But I'm saying I get back to it.
People in Memphis don't even know
right,
that.
everything come through Memphis. Like
A lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Right, Maurice White, Booker T. Washington.
Yes.
Marion Barry. I go to DC all the time. They love Marion Barry. Holiday Inn was a vending Memphis. I'm saying Holiday Inn right now. FedEx. I mean, Piggly Wiggly, first supermarket.
Yes.
But I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. This is my problem. Like, that's why I love Memphis. I say, damn, you know, if you got the world's second largest cargo airport, and you used to be able to fly from Memphis to Europe on one direct flight, what's going on with it? What is the problem with Memphis? Well, Memphis got all this potential and has all this greatness and legacy. Why can't we do better? Is it leadership or is it by design?
Education.
Mm-hmm. But they closed down the schools.
It's education,
right.
period.
Okay.
Lack of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And then people don't want to go to school.
But if you know they messing you over, like you said, how they messing us over in the system, why would you want to go to school? They know they messing you over and cutting you off at the knees.
Okay, so don't do nothing at all and get.
No, I was like, we said, but take control of your day. Like what you were saying, take control. Like you said,
you take control of your
right. Like, but if you don't have people to teach you that, how to do that though. If
by now we should have it. Okay, it's been over 5 years. We're not enslaved no more.
I'm talking about this.
So that don't work.
No, I'm talking about like this, right? Like they can tell me about this. I started thinking about it. I said, okay, if a person told me that Santa Claus brought me my gifts, that you my parent, and you told me Santa Claus brought you this, you went into debt to buy me these gifts. You took a second job, got loans, but you did credit to a big fat white dude that can't fit down a chimney.
Right.
Realistically, so if
at some point you're gonna grow up and learn that the little fat white guy didn't do it.
Yeah, but why? But what hurts? It's not the point. It hurt that you would lie to me like that because you the person I trusted with my life, and you is some person I respected, and I believe your word was mine. I'm telling you, if a person lied to you like that about Santa Claus. What else they lied about?
Everybody lies about Santa Claus.
Well, you see what I'm saying though? Like if you're a person I trust.
Let's keep it real. If you go to church with your mama,
right?
Whose birthday is it?
That's Jesus.
Thank you.
Right.
So what's the issue? It ain't your birthday, and you
right? But what? Okay, but they use
so,
it to set.
You don't understand what Santa Claus is?
Yeah.
It's a business marketing tool.
But as a kid, you don't know that.
Even as a kid, I knew.
Even your parents tell you that Santa Claus.
Tell me, I used to get up and catch him anyway. I see my mom and them putting that stuff down there. We didn't have a chimney.
But did it bother you?
You ain't got no chimney in the hood. Ain't no fat white man came down that pipe and made it look like a chimney.
And come at nighttime, right?
But they ain't came there. You come to my daddy's house at night. You done got. Okay? He must have capping you. You ain't coming through there at night. That ain't happening. We didn't go through there at night. Yeah. So I know no white man coming through there at night in a Santa Claus suit. No, that's no excuse. That's no excuse.
But it's like put too much on the kid to know things that.
No, it ain't. Kids come in knowing things.
They do, but
kids know more than they ever knew. Kids come in smarter than I've ever seen in my lifetime. So stop blaming it on those things. See, we keep looking for something to blame. There's nothing to blame.
No, but I'm saying, like, I don't call all people elders. I call some elders because they always said, well, the young people do this, but who are the teachers? Like, why they come here? They have skills, they have ability, but do they have direction?
Some of the direction they still don't follow it.
It make a choice not to follow.
That's what I mean. It's all about.
But they are conscious. If they are conscious of the options, though, that's different. But a lot of folks ain't conscious of their aware of the options. Not a minute
screwed up now. You can't.
Right. Know what I'm saying? So what do we do?
All these screwed up people. If they got enough consciousness to watch stupid reality TV and believe it's real, then they got consciousness. Okay, they just stuck on stupid.
But then we don't have the family unit. Like no BP don't get together.
We never had that. We didn't have that.
We may do right.
Welfare.
Yeah, okay.
When they started with welfare, they started, you have shoe size 11 or bigger in your house, then that means somebody living in your house. Right. It's a man. And they started dividing the families. So men left so you could get that check worlds. And it created this problem that we now today have with the baby mama drama syndrome. And everybody having children out of wedlock. And I don't care what people may think. And again, this is only my opinion. And my opinion is a dime a dozen, but it's my opinion. Okay?
Right,
so people can get mad or not get mad. All these babies out of wedlock is the biggest problem that we have. Why you keep having babies you can't take care of yourself?
That's a good question. Well, people feel like
it was easy for me not to have children. I couldn't take care of myself. I'm gonna have a baby. Even when I was in my 20s, I'm working, I'm struggling. When I first bought this place years ago, and I'm sleeping in the floor on a mattress on the floor. I'm gonna have a baby and I'm on a mattress on the floor myself. Thank God over the years my career got better and I bought a bigger house and then, now that I've retired, I downsized. Right. So I don't get it. If you can't take care of you can't take care of baby. And I've heard some people say, well, it motivated me to do something. I don't need that kind of motivation. Right. Eating is my biggest motivation for work. Okay, it's worse than crack. I got to eat to live. So that's my biggest motivation. And I don't want a kid's life to be worse than my life was. If I can't make this world better, why bring them into this world? And we bring them in the world. I'm not mad. Some of these, and the women have to take their responsibilities too. Right. A baby don't make you whole. A baby's not going to love you because you think he loves you because you had him. He came out of your body. I love people. There's a little old white lady behind you. Okay. I took care of her for 6 years. She was my neighbor, and she's from Greece.
Wow.
And I love her and loved her as much as I loved my own mother. And I only knew her them 6 years. Wow. But she was that good to me. She cared about me that much. She loved me that much. So that love that they keep talking about, they trying to find by having all these babies is just crazy. You're getting government checks for each baby, and I think now they cutting that stuff off. Right. But there's no reason to be making them babies' lives worse than your life was. If I just think about that, I wouldn't want to have a kid. And not that my life was bad, but I knew I couldn't take care of it. I got to feed it, and it's crying, and got to change diapers, and just, I don't know why they think this thing is easy. It's not easy. Right. And then mamas and daddy think it's okay, and they support them and help them. My daddy and them never would have done it, and I knew my daddy wouldn't have done it.
Did he hear to talk to you about that?
Oh, yes, he did. I went to jail one time for speeding. My daddy didn't even come get me out.
Wow.
He said, you'll be there to Monday, and he said, you will be there to Monday. And lucky for me, my mama came, my brother and my sister, they drove up to Sykeston, Missouri. And you know my racist. It was racist. Don't be out of there. You better be out here by sundown. And they came up and got me out because I got my daddy didn't even look at me. I don't know, he looked at me for a month in the face.
Wow. He was that disappointed.
He was that. I would never want to hurt my father like that. I never want to hurt my mother like that. And I'm sorry, she was hurt getting me out of there. But she did it. But it hurt. It hurt deeply. And those things now, I don't even know if we don't care. And then we think our parents don't care. But you keep having babies. If you're 16, 14, having kids, what can you teach somebody? Your grandmama the same age as your mama almost. I mean, it's craziness. And that's not white America's problem. That's black people's problem. Okay? Everybody.